My dear 8th District constituents, hello, it's Congressman Jamie Raskin coming to you on Friday, November 20th. This is the always exciting week before and through Thanksgiving. And we have a magnificent local hero for you for Thanksgiving week. And he is a fitting recipient of our Local Hero Award because we are immensely, indeed infinitely grateful for his service to the community. But he's also going to give us some great tips about how everybody can get through the Thanksgiving period safely. So, my friends, please welcome as the local hero for Thanksgiving week, Dr. Norvell Van Coots, who is the president and CEO of Holy Cross Hospital and president and CEO of the Maryland region of Trinity Health. He's got a remarkable professional career. He's a retired brigadier general, the former commanding general and CEO of Regional Health Command Europe, and command surgeon in U.S. Army Europe in the 7th Army. He's got more than 20 years of executive experience in all aspects of healthcare management and medical administration. He is in such a splendid mental, physical, and emotional shape that he bears none of the scars of having run Maryland's most important hospital for COVID-19. I think it's had more COVID-19 patient days than any other hospital in the state. It's really been in the front lines of it, but he shows none of those battle scars. He is a happy and focused and relaxed warrior and a model to us all. For all of these reasons and more, Dr. Coots, congratulations on being our local hero this Thanksgiving week 2020.
Thank you very much, Congressman Raskin. It's indeed an honor and a privilege to have that distinction and to be on this show with you. Thank you.
All right, so I've got so much I want to talk to you about what's been happening in the hospital, but can we start off with some very practical Thanksgiving tips? I think most people understand that the big Thanksgiving celebration with 25 members of the family is just not going to happen this year. But what are the reasonable tips and rules for the road?
Well, the most important thing is just hunker down, really. This next 6 weeks is going to be critical. We've got some major holidays coming in this period of time. So over the Thanksgiving week, try to keep it as small as humanly possible. Do your best to do Zoom or some kind of video chat with family and friends. Keep the focus of the family small, immediate family. If other family members do come over, make sure that it's not more than 10 people. If that number come over, put on a jacket and take your food outside and sit on the porch or do something like that, because spacing out is very important. Wearing masks, hand washing, social distancing, all the rules we've lived with are even more critical now during this time. People have a tendency when they get around family to break down those distances and things like that. You just have to remember, if it's not your nuclear family, the nucleus that you're used to living with, then you need to space out and really be careful of that. You don't really want to get, Aunt Sally or Grandma or Grandpa sick at this time.
Just because you love someone doesn't mean that you can't make them sick or they can't make you sick. On the contrary, because you love them, you want to make sure you don't get them sick or they don't get you sick. And that's what is so difficult about this, that, the consequences of COVID-19 for family life, for social life, for community life have been nightmarish in the way that it's broken down those bonds and people's ability to hug and touch and to have physical intimacy. But we're on the precipice of getting through this thing with the vaccine. Isn't that right, doctor? And so now's not the moment for anybody to let their guard down.
No, that's exactly right. That's why I said the next 6 weeks is really critical. Getting through the holiday period. The good news is that the vaccine should be available starting at the end of December, beginning of January. There are multiple tranches. The first tranche is going to be, those most vulnerable and the healthcare workers that take care of them, followed by hospital workers, EMS personnel, and it'll cascade down like that. We are almost there. So now is not a time to let the guard down. Now is a time to redouble our efforts and make it through that and, roll up our sleeves and get that vaccine.
I thought about, John Kerry and how when he got back from Vietnam, he said, you don't want to be the last person to die for a mistake. And I think we've got to have that same attitude about COVID-19. You know, where the end of this thing is really in sight with the vaccine. And please, I don't want any of my constituents, any of our friends, any of our neighbors to be the last one to die for a mistake. Don't do it. Let's really double down on it. And when we get through this nightmare, we will double, triple the amount of time we spend together in family and social life. And, you know, I'm somebody who loves big gatherings, and when it's safe to do it, we're going to do it. And we're going to have concerts, and we're going to have plays, and we're going to have rallies, we're going to have fun. But until then, everybody's got to stay isolated physically, psychologically, and emotionally. We can talk, we can do Zoom, all that stuff. Look, the Holy Cross has been such a remarkable presence in the community during this period. And I wonder first if you would start by talking about what is your theory about the role that Holy Cross plays generally for the people of Montgomery County and Maryland?
Well, you know, a lot of people don't realize they know us for the place where babies are born, because we deliver about 11,000 babies a year. And, you know, we're big in women's gynecologic health and cancer and neuroscience and things like that. But what people may not know about us is under a special grant 5 years ago during the Ebola crisis, we are one of the 5 special pathogen assessment hospitals in the state of Maryland. We're the only one in Montgomery County. And so we are uniquely positioned to receive patients anytime there's a question of, is this a unique infectious disease, or, you know, to be able to rule this out. And so we actually received the first patient to rule out COVID-19 on the 24th of January. And so we had been watching this since last November, the things happening in China and then in Europe. And so immediately after we got that first rule out, we stood up our incident management command system, because we said something bad is coming. We thought we were absolutely prepared for it, because we were prepared for Ebola and chikungunya fever and some of these other pathogenic diseases that would hit, but we were rapidly overwhelmed. So we quickly righted ourselves and came up with special pathways and special procedures to care for these patients. If you remember at the very beginning, there were no medications, there was nothing. Then there was maybe hydroxychloroquine, then there was maybe steroids. Then there were all of these other different biologic agents and things like that. We now have a full spectrum of medications to treat with. We've learned how to ventilate patients. We've learned so many things about this disease along the way that we are actually having better and better outcomes than we had before. But now we're starting to get as many patients as we had before. We have as many patients now as we had on the 13th of June. So this spike is real, it is coming back, but again, we're prepared to care for it. The message I want to get out though too is, if you need to come to the hospital, don't put it off. We saw people put off their care the last time around, and with bad outcomes. We have learned how to segregate patients and create COVID versus non-COVID areas, cohorting patients, making sure that we can still be the trusted partner for folks in the community. If you need the care, we are here to provide the care.
And you're still moving forward on a whole bunch of different fronts, including urgent care generally outside of COVID, right?
That's
and
correct.
The Cancer Center. Say a word about your continuing progress.
So we've got part of the funding in now for our comprehensive cancer center. The first part of it is to take our radiation treatment center out from under the ground where it's old style and bring it up into the light and brightness with brand new equipment, and that's going to go in Wheaton. And then phase 2 of that will be to build out the adjacencies for doctors' offices. We want this to be one stop for our cancer patients. There'll be spiritual care, there'll be physical therapy, there'll even be a wig shop that's there. And so patients will be able to get everything that they need in one comprehensive spot. We're also going to partner with our neuroscience program and put part of our neuroscience program rather there as well. We are moving out in the community. Within the next year, people will see Holy Cross branded urgent cares across Montgomery County as well. And we're consolidating more and expanding our physician practices. So you'll see more Holy Cross out in the community. Our goal is to get healthcare as close to where health really is, which is in the home, if not actually getting the care in the home with some of our new technology, telehealth, telemedicine, and things like that.
I wonder if you would say a word about the nurses and the doctors and the medical staff and personnel at Holy Cross, which people rave about. I mean, people really love the care that they get there. I saw a posting on Facebook, not from someone, not from a nurse at Holy Cross, but another nurse saying something to the effect of, at this point in the crisis, you can save your pizzas and you can save your thank yous and you can save your signs. Just put on a mask and take seriously what we're telling you to do. That was sobering to hear, because I think people do want to express their gratitude directly, but she was making an important point, which is also express your gratitude by behaving responsibly.
Well, I'll tell you, the truth of the matter is I'm not the hero. I just lead an organization full of heroes. The everyday heroes are the doctors, the nurses, the techs, the frontline staff, our EVS personnel, everyone who comes to work every day knowing that they're potentially going to take care of a COVID-19 patient, but really being here for anyone who needs us. It's not like it's a military thing where you're at the front line and then you can rotate out for 30 days of R&R. There is no R&R. The same staff that were here to take care of patients during our first wave are here standing ready to take care of patients in the second wave. They are truly day-to-day heroes. And the community there was such an outpouring of support from the community that we still see. So we are really thankful to everyone in the community who has taken it upon themselves to support us as well.
All right, and we will put up some information about how people can register their gratitude and their appreciation during the holidays for people who are on the front lines. Dr. Coots, we can't thank you enough, and I know that the credit goes to everybody in your institution, but you're a pretty magnificent leader, and you really personify the commitment that people at Holy Cross have to the health of our community. So for that reason, you're our local hero, but we're willing to take everybody else at Holy Cross as our local heroes too, for everything that you've been doing for us. So thank you, and happy Thanksgiving to you.
Thank you very much, Congressman. Happy Thanksgiving to you as well.